Good morning. Welcome to another weekly vlog. My name is Dion, also known as the Face of Ambition, across all social media platforms. I'm so grateful y'all have joined me for another weekly vlog. This week I hope to do a lot better than I did last week, y'all. I had my camera all turned crazy, but this week I'm excited about a fresh week. I'm actually sitting outside waiting for my doctor's appointment to start. Like, I'm looking at the traffic going by. This parking lot for my doctor's at a hospital is so congested. Like, I knew I had to get here early to find a space and to get to my appointment, because they don't be playing. They'd be like, if you're 5 minutes late, you have to reschedule your appointment, and they are not playing. I'll be sitting in the lobby watching people be a few minutes late, and it's because of parking. It's like, they need a parking deck or something. But I'm actually at a doctor's appointment to get a pelvic exam. This is my, mammogram, pelvic exam, pap smear, all the good things they have to do through JJ season. And I like to keep them all done around the same time. So I just know, I just stack the appointments as closely as possible. It's spring. All the good things happen during this time. But, when I was driving to this appointment, I just really made me think about, why I have to get a pelvic exam and my own reproductive health, and how it's been so up and down. Like, a lot of people have asked me if I have children, and we've chit-chatted about it a little bit in the comments, and I don't have children. This was actually a personal decision that my husband and I made when we got married, that we didn't want to have children. At the time, it was not right away, and then slowly it became not at all. We really had a lot of reasons why we just didn't want to have children. And very early in our marriage, we got pregnant, and this is maybe about 3 years after we got married. And I remember being so excited about it, and it just kind of changed my mind. Like, you said you didn't want kids, but now that you're pregnant, you really want this baby, and you're ready to be a mom, and all of those things. And I was, went to the doctor. I had my ultrasound. They printed out my ultrasound, all those things. I made my big announcement to my mom and all of these things. And I will never forget, I was at an Israel Horton concert in Nashville. At the time, I lived in Huntsville, and I got back to the hotel room after the concert, and I was spotting. And I knew in my spirit at that time, something was wrong. And so that was on a Saturday night. On that Monday, I went to the doctor, and the ultrasound tech actually did my ultrasound this time. And she was like, let me go get the doctor. She was just kind of looking strange. And she was like, you have an ectopic pregnancy. And I didn't know what that was at the time. And it was so many things that were going in my mind, because when they were explaining to me what an ectopic pregnancy was, I'm really just trying to understand how I had an ultrasound where the doctor showed me the baby. I was scheduled for my heartbeat exam, all these things, because I was pretty far along as far as weeks went at this time. And this was just something that unfortunately was an accident by the doctor who did my ultrasound. But it was a really hard loss, because although I had decided I don't want children, I didn't want to have a baby, when I found out I was pregnant, my body changed, my mind changed. And I think that it's so powerful, because we have the power to change our mind. Whatever I said yesterday, I don't have to feel that way today. I said those things. I didn't want to have children. I really wanted to focus on my career. I wanted us to travel and have, dogs and property and land and all these things. And all that has changed. We live in an apartment in Savannah. I mean, there's no land. And even though that is temporary, it is just so different than the way I thought my life would go. And having that ectopic pregnancy was really hard, but it kind of hardened my heart. I didn't want kids anyway, and that kid didn't want me. And I had a lot of issues around just the loss that I thought was going to be ours. And it was difficult, very, very difficult. And so so we went about life, and 11 years passed with just having good old free fun sex. I can't have no babies, is what it is. I wasn't on no birth control. I was practicing rhythm for a while, but then I stopped practicing rhythm because I was like, my body doesn't get pregnant, so I don't have anything to worry about. And last year, 2022, it was Thanksgiving weekend or week, and I was having these really strong pelvic pains. And my sister worked in an OBGYN office for years and years and years. Like she's the one I trust with my JJ, like the most. And so she was looking at how and where I was having pains. Like I would just have like these shooting pains. I would be like, oh gosh, that just really hurt. And she's like, how long have you been having that pain? And I'm like, oh, for a few weeks. And it's just so sad because I know that as women, we push through things. Like we dismiss pain all the time. We dismiss issues. We can just push. We have to deal with so much anyway that when small things come up, we're just able to make an excuse for why it's happening. Like I have been working a lot. I have been stressed out. It's about to be Black Friday sale and we're getting ready for this and we're pivoting in this area. And, sales and finances and holiday bonuses and all these things that I was already dealing with. I really just chalked it up to like, I don't know, I'm just having some weird pain and it'll go away because pains be going away whenever they happen. And she kept watching me that week and was like, I really think you should take a pregnancy test. And I'm like, girl, first of all, I am a woman of a certain age. There is no need for me to take a pregnancy test. Like, maybe when I was in my 20s, maybe when I was in my 30s, but it's been 11 years at this point since the last time I was pregnant. And I will never forget, it was Black Friday. We're in the middle of our Black Friday sale, and I'm ignoring her. Her like, you should go get a pregnancy test. I'm like, no, I don't need it. Like, this would just be a waste of money. And pregnancy test is expensive. I don't know if y'all seen these prices lately. These things is expensive. They're locked up for a reason. I think y'all should keep them locked up. Because if I wasn't the person I am, I'd have been like, well, I at least thought about it. Because, gosh, they're so expensive. And so I go, we get the pregnancy test, and I take it, and I'm pregnant. And my heart immediately sinks. Like, I know it's not good. Like, before I had like the joy and like the excitement, because of course the first time I had absolutely no idea that was even possible. But I went to the emergency room and they did the ultrasound and all of those things, and I was bleeding really bad internally, and so I had to have emergency surgery again. The first surgery was emergency as well, but this one was a real life or death situation. And it's in these moments that you just really process life. You start thinking about life in your body and how many signs I ignored, and even like how fragile life is, and all at the same time, like all of those emotions really kind of cascade over you, because I know how long I had been in pain. I knew that at this point it had been weeks, like I knew I said, oh, it's just been a few weeks, but a few weeks was quite a few weeks. And when I went to the hospital, I was actually 12 plus weeks along in that pregnancy. And although it wasn't viable, it was a very large, growing baby inside of my tubes. And the first ectopic pregnancy, they didn't have to take my tubes, but this one they took my left tube. And it's really one of those things that the grief of like wondering what's wrong with my body. Why is it that, did I bring this on myself? Did I say I didn't want kids, therefore my body won't have children? All of these things are things that emotions that I've really grappled with and thought about and prayed about. But I really know that we all have purpose. We all have a greater purpose. And my purpose is to be a God mom to my 12 godchildren, and to be a dog mom to Friday. And God did not choose to give us children. And it's a weird feeling again, because I didn't want children, but I wanted the option to have children. Does that make sense? Like, this is one that I hope that makes sense to you guys, because you all have talked, we talked about this a lot on Instagram about pregnancy loss and my feelings around it, but I really want the gifts that God has for me, like what the promise. There's 7,000 promises in the Bible. Like, I want them all. I want all the promises. But if he chooses not to bless me with one of those promises, I have to be okay with that, and finding my peace with the fact that I said I didn't want something and didn't get it. And then, like, what does that mean? Like, did I bring this on myself? Was my thoughts around not having children selfish? Even I dealt with that for a long time. And I've really have come to a lot of understanding about my future, my purpose, some of the goals that I have, even God's plan for my life. But this has been one of those that's been a real hard journey, and one that I know that you all can understand. A lot of you all have dealt with miscarriages and stillbirths, and having live children, having children today, and still having hormonal problems and other issues that go on with our bodies. And we dismiss it a lot. But I'm really sitting here in this parking lot about to go into my appointment before I'm late and they cancel it. But I really want to encourage you to put your body first. Our bodies tell us when they need help, and it cries out for help. Pain is not, you don't feel pain or discomfort or have abnormal bleeding for absolutely nothing. There's something that's going on that needs your attention. Take time and give it attention. You are worth the fuss. You are worth going to the doctor and them saying it was absolutely nothing. I'm getting this pelvic exam done every year because I have endometriosis. I've had fibroids. I've had them removed. They've grown back. Just figuring out like how to best care for my body. How many surgeries can I really truly put my body under to be able to solve this? What can I do naturally to be able to stop the growth of endometriosis and fibroids? One of the things you all have seen me be very vocal about is stopping drinking coffee. And for years after I found out I had fibroids, I still drank coffee because I was like, it ain't really doing nothing. But when I came back, I was like, maybe there's something to it. Just what can you do to take care? What can you do to truly take care of your body and put yourself first? It's really important. I just want to encourage you all with that today. And I'm going to take y'all into my pelvic exam. I love my doctor. I love my doctor. She's so honest with me about everything that's going on with my body, even like stepping into perimenopause, all those things that are going on with your hormones. I feel like an adolescent again, just like, what's going on with my body? Why do I feel this? Why are my breasts so sore? Why am I sweating all night long? Why are these things happening to me? And she loves to just sit me down in the office and be like, okay, girl, listen, this is what's going on with your body. This is what you're feeling. She takes time and explains everything, even though there's so much of it that like I just know, but then there's so much of it that I don't know and that I try to Google and figure out, but I don't have the answer. So I'm excited to take you guys with me today. I hope you all schedule your pelvic exam, schedule your pap smear, schedule your mammograms. Nothing is going to happen except for you know the truth, and if there's something wrong, you can treat it. Do your personal exams at home every month. Make it something fun that you and your husband, your bae, your partner, and you do it by yourself. Do it in the shower. Do it when you lay down. Whatever you do, do it. Make sure you get it done. Okay, I'm gonna run into this exam before I lose my appointment. So I just left the first half of my appointment. That was the ultrasound, and it went really well. There were some questions. I do have a relevantly large fibroid. So like my uterus is about 5-7 inches tall, and the fibroid's about 2 inches tall. But my uterus is only that big because of the fibroid, and so it's expanding that area. And I've had my fibroids removed before. I've had fibroids removed and endometriosis removed before, but we're clearly having some problems with that because it's still showing up. Well, it's either, she explained, like either they left some of it in there or that I have just like a regrowth. So that's pretty disappointing to hear. Also, I never knew that there were actually cysts on your ovaries that were like always, they come on your ovaries every parts of like so many days of your period. And so I do have some cysts on my ovaries that they're going to continue to monitor, because it could be that they are there just because of the position that I am in my menstrual, or it's because there's something else. So one of them, she did feel like, she really wanted to watch and was questionable. So that was something that was kind of problematic. This is why I'm telling you guys, it is so important to take care of your body, because we just put off pains in situations. It's just like, oh, it hurts. My stomach always does that. It just be doing that. I just have this shooting pain. And sometimes that shooting pain is for a reason or for something that's happening. And so I'm headed to my next appointment for my doctor to read my my exam results. And I couldn't take you guys in that exam with us. I asked her if I could record it, and she said no. But those are kind of my preliminary results from that. But you know what I wish? I wish there was another cleanup method after you have an ultrasound. For any of y'all that have had a pelvic ultrasound, you understand what I mean. Like, that jelly, y'all need something else. Them tissues is not going to be enough. Yeah, I saw her put this jelly on this thing, this strobe thing. She put probably, a half a tube on this thing, and then you give me a handkerchief and a wet wipe, and that is not enough. I'm walking around here. I'm going to have to go home and take a shower. I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay, so I'm all done with doctor's visits, and my doctor said that the size of my fibroid really kind of is an elective surgery, because yes, it's there, but it's really not causing me any problems. I don't have any abnormal bleeding, spotting, heavy periods, any of those things. So she, despite the size, she felt comfortable leaving it. It felt like it was more elective to have it removed. And that, again, like the cysts are going to come and go, and she's going to check me in 6 months just to check in on that. So I feel really good about it. But I definitely want to encourage you all to get your mammograms, your pap smears, stay on top of your health. Because there's just so many, I'm just hearing stories of younger and younger women who are, going to the doctor in their 30s, or feeling a lump at, 35 or 43, and, and them being in advanced stages of breast cancer or having cervical cancer and things like that. And it's just not worth it. It's a time that you have to take off. You have to take off work. You have to spend the time, spend the money, whatever it costs, it's worth your life. And so just want to encourage you guys to take time to get yourself checked out. Don't worry about that jelly. I just don't know why they have to use so much of that jelly when they do those exams. I guess I would rather have the jelly than not, but golly, I just feel so squishy in the seat. Like I just feel like I don't like this feeling. I was gonna go to lunch, but I think I'm just gonna go home and take care of myself a little bit, and then carry on with the rest of my day. I also wanted to say, like, if any of you all feel like, hey, I would get a second opinion, or I feel like she's absolutely right, I'm open to comments. I love to chat with you all in the comment section. So if you all have anything to add on that, like, should I have a fibroids removed, should I not, all those things. Because listen, I like my doctor, but I'm sure Serena Williams liked her doctor too, and he almost killed her. So okay, I like to listen to all the parts, all the pieces, all the options, because I ain't trying to be sick if I don't have to, and I'm not trying to go through a hardship if I don't have to, especially if you want to something. So I encourage the conversation. Okay, that just started playing. All right, too many sounds. Anywho, you all have a fantastic rest of the day. I'm gonna go change my panties after all this jelly. I just feel like they should need tissue. She handed me like 3 tissues. Sis, I need more than some tissues and a wet wipe. Like, this is not it. Y'all have a good day.
to the house. Don't feel like getting out. I'ma just lay back and crack this window. I've been doing my best, taking a moment to rest, feeling stressed out. Give it a good, I put that on God when it gets hard. I stay on my job like no days off, so you can go home with the negativity, with that broken mentality. Jump on jealousy, my bad. Get away from me, 'cause I've been working all day. Can a nigga catch a break? Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter, I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, already got the world on me. Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter, I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, better way. Oh, Mom and Dad's only daughter, do I make you proud? Writing my life in lyrics, do you like the sound? Seeking approval constantly. When it's my truth I own, I speak, it don't make sense now. Give it a good, put that on good when it gets.
So I finally finished cleaning all this mess up over here, and here are my plants. I'm trying to be more of a plant mom. This, you know, was a twig, like one branch that broke off of a money tree that I gave a friend of mine, and I took it and wrapped it in a paper towel, and look at her today. I just repotted her today as well. I see she has another little sprout coming in, which I'm happy to welcome her. So these, and there's a new one here. She's very young. She's so tender. And so I'm excited about all my plants except for this one. So this was, I saw a lemon tree in like a hardware store, and it was like a little spruce, and I was like, I want a lemon tree. And my husband was like, what you gonna do with a lemon tree? You know, where we were about to move from our home, like our house in Louisville here, and you know, we knew we were going to be in an apartment for at least a year or two while we figured out housing here in Savannah. And so I was like, I really wanted it. So he bought me this lemon tree. Y'all, it's 7 feet tall. Like, well, it was. You see, she's not doing well these days. She did really well the first year. She bloomed. She had lemons, everything. I've eaten the lemons. They're so good. I just couldn't believe I grew lemons. Brought it in the house over the winter, and this is now, she lost all of her leaves over the winter, and now this is what she looks like. And I'm pretty devastated, honestly. It's a Meyer lemon tree. I don't know what happened. I don't know why she's dying. And I keep like breaking it to see if it's really dead. Like, that sounds dead, doesn't it? Like, that pop doesn't sound like it's really alive, but it's just pretending. Like, I feel like something's really wrong. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did to deserve this. So it makes me really sad. But if anybody knows what's going on with her, because she has like green branches, but then like the tips are brown. So I don't know what the deal is with her. I don't know how to save it or what to do. I don't know if I need to repot it. I don't know if I need to take it to a nursery. I don't know. But I loved the tree, and I love the oranges that it brought me, and I love the fact that he bought me such a big, y'all, when he brought in this tree, he couldn't even carry it. It was on a dolly. It was so funny. But this is my chill spot. I work out here often, or sit out here and just meditate and pray and practice gratitude. I typically do practice gratitude here in the morning. Y'all see me film here a lot in the mornings. But this is our little space. It's small, it's intimate, but it's our space, and it's screened in. If y'all have ever been to Savannah, Georgia, like you may have really loved it. The moss, the trees, the oaks, the live oaks, all those things. But the mosquitoes is what they never tell nobody. They don't ever tell anybody. Come with some repellent, because the mosquitoes are real. And so thankfully it's screened in, so we are protected from the elements, which makes this a year-round situation, which I absolutely love, because otherwise this door would never be open. Oh my goodness, happy babies. This is Friday's boyfriend, Miller.
No?
Get ready.
He's like, are you filming me without permission? Oh my goodness. I was just saying I need to take her to daycare. But this is free.
Wear them out. We gotta go to the pool, so it's perfect.
I know. I want to go to the pool too.
We just want to play pickleball for like an hour and a half.
Waiting in line for coffee. Oh my. Patiently waiting in line for coffee.
Sorry?
Patiently waiting in line for coffee?
I'm not. It's not my fault. You've been lying, saying that I took away your peace. Drowning by yourself, now you wanna blame me. Like you have no options. I ain't take your options. Now I'm not the problem. Man, that's on you, yeah. You've been terrorizing me, yeah, I'm always wrong. I knew you lost your mind when you dropped that bomb. Girl, are you crazy? Yeah, you must be crazy. I've been thinking lately it's you. You stole your peace, put it on me. Baby, it's you. Lie like a rat, but take your stuff back. Baby, it's you. Baby, it's you.
Ambitionistas. So I am about to record another sit down with me chit chat, and it's about feeling alone. Like, I haven't really nailed down the title, but it's about feeling alone when you're on your reinvention journey. And this one is a real trigger for me because every time I decide to reinvent myself, I feel so alone. Well, I remember when I was ready to get like super serious about my spirituality, and it's a feeling of like I still want to be friends with my friends, but I don't want to do what they do. And so how do I still be friends with them but not like be with them? And that feels like I'm like separating myself from them, and I don't want them to feel like I'm high and mighty and greater and more holy and any of those things. But it was just a weird space, and I really got in my head about how individuals are gonna feel whenever I made certain stances. Like, I don't drink anymore, or I don't wanna go out to the club, or I'm not hanging out at a bar or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, I felt like I was gonna be judged for it. Like, I was gonna be judged for being like odd or a party pooper. Like, I miss the old you. Like, we used to have so much fun. Like, you can still come and you don't have to do these things. And I get it. Like, I totally get it. And I agree even. Like, I don't. But I don't want to be there. Like, there were certain things I just didn't want to do. There were certain, like, sacrifices that I really wanted to make to get closer to God that I felt I personally felt like we're gonna be critiqued and criticized by some of my friends. And I've lost friends before for less. And so it was really just a time where I felt like, if I reinvent myself as this new person, like how are my friends gonna deal with it? And I'm a woman of a certain age. Like I don't have time to lose friends. Only got 5. Like how many less can I get? Like until I'm just really, just flying out here solo. So this episode is really interesting to me because it is hard. I mean, it's hard for just like the people that you love that are like, why don't you like yourself? Like, why are you just changing so much? Like, there's so much change so fast. Like, who do you think you are? Or like, why are you trying to be somebody else? Like, that's the thing that I hear individuals complain about the most. Like, you're trying to act like somebody else. And it's not an act. I'm not acting like anybody else. I'm going to act like me, but I've got to find me. Like, I have to know and learn who I am so I can show up as her. But there's so many times that I don't have the chance, the opportunity, the space, the time, any of those things to really know who I am, so that it is just who I show up as opposed to me acting like someone else. And so this episode's gonna be really interesting for me because, like I said, I've done it so many times before. Like I've worked in politics for years and years and years. And so I was like the political analyst girl that everybody knew to contact for certain, like for candidates and campaigns and fundraising and all of those things. And after 14 years in politics, I decided to retire. And y'all would act like, when I tell you, you would think I didn't know anything about politics, like in my whole life. Like I never, like all I did was vote. The way that I talk today. I don't identify as a politician anymore. Like I'm truly like, that was my past. I don't care about any, I do care. I'm like, let me be clear, like I care. But as far as being an analyst and a statistician and a GOTV activist and all these things, it's like that was a life that I left behind, and I'm glad that it's over because I do the things now that bring me joy. It brought me joy while it was bringing me joy, and then it stopped bringing me joy. That's why I stopped doing it. It was just that simple. Like I did government contracts. I didn't like that anymore. I was a fundraiser. I didn't like that anymore. And I just changed it. I decided that wasn't what I wanted to do any longer. And so I didn't. And I feel like everybody still tries to put you in a basket of what you used to do. And it's so hard when you reinvent yourself and you're trying to catch everybody up to the changes that you've made because it's so who you are or so who you've always been. And now you're having to change that, It's a really touchy one for me. I'm really going to enjoy this episode. I'm really working on some of the tips that I want to offer because I don't feel as if you have to leave everybody behind. I don't feel like you got to just, some of them you do. Now let me be clear. Some of them can't come on this journey. I mean, it's like Harriet Tubman. Some of y'all can't come on the journey because you're going to mess up everything. I'm trying to get somewhere and you not with the program. You want somebody else. I don't need you around. You're bad energy. You're bad for business. There's some people that you're like, I value you enough that I want you to come with me. I want you to be a part of this. Or, I want to encourage you to reinvent yourself too. Because, even one of the points that as I've been journaling and thinking about this next episode, one of the things that is really important to me is if I don't have the space to create the space or to find the space that feels really authentic to me. Like, that's why I created a Level Up Club. It was solely because I knew that there were women that didn't have a safe space. They didn't have a space of individuals that understood what it was like to say, I know I have a 6-figure job, but I want to quit my job and I want to start being a politician, or I want to make quilts, or I want to build websites, or I want to be an influencer. There was not a space that felt like people that, like a space where people understood you and understood, like, I'm changing for myself. I'm changing because I've always just been this person or this person's mom or this person's assistant, or I've always worked for this company and I'm just ready to do me. And so I'm excited about this episode because, like I said, it's personally triggering because I know what it feels like to feel alone when you're on your reinvention journey. And I just am determined to not allow anybody in this community to feel alone. Like, there is absolutely no way that I want you to feel like I'm out here all by myself and nobody gets me, because I get it. I have done it so many times. I have reinvented myself professionally, personally. I used to have hair down to my waist. Like, the way that I look, the way that I carry myself, the way that my friend circle, even the way that I eat. I was raised vegan, and I started eating meat kind of around high school, early college years, like I tasted chicken wings. No, it was definitely college, because I remember when I met my husband my freshman year of college, and he was like, "You never had no chicken wings?" And I was like, "No, you know, we went to Adventist college. We didn't have meat on campus. It was real easy to not eat meat, you know, in any situation." And so he was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna get you some chicken wings today. Like, you gonna taste some chicken wings." And when I tell you, I was like, I guess Eve tasted it first. Child, my eyes were open. I was like, this is the best thing I have ever tasted. And so even though I ate meat for a while, like I, you know, like dabbled in it, especially in college, I was like, I find it cool, you know, everybody else is doing it. It wasn't really my thing. And then a few years ago, I got back into eating meat, really lightly, because just for like my protein, my health, all those things. I was really trying to get off of processed food, and a lot of vegetarian food was processed. And so I went back to eating meat. But my thing is that flip-flop confuses people. They're like, I thought you were vegan. I thought you said, my mom hates when people say that. I thought you said you weren't doing this. I thought you said you were, you know, going to the club. Well, I am now. I thought you said you weren't drinking. What did I do today? I thought you said you weren't doing it. Because we can change. We can choose to change. Like, every day I have the choice. One of the most amazing gifts that God has given us is the power of choice. It's such an amazing gift, and it's so dangerous, and it's so freeing at the same time. We can choose, and I love the being able to choose, but sometimes individuals aren't down with our choices. Like, sometimes it confuses our friends. So what happens in that time where they're just like, I don't know, I can't keep up with her. Like, today she's this, tomorrow she's that. What happens? So this next episode, I'm really excited about. I'm getting ready to record it, and I'm just going over just my thoughts about it. But I'm really excited about this episode because, again, it's triggering for me, because I have gone through it and I go through it so often. And losing friends over a transition is hard. Like, I'm just not a gossiper anymore. I don't want to do these things anymore. You know, I don't want to smoke weed anymore, or I don't, you know, and it doesn't even have to be something like an illicit drug that you're using. You know what I mean? That I don't do that anymore. I don't drink anymore. It could be just something as simple as, you know, something else at work. Like, I'm not going to talk about our boss anymore. Like, I work here. I'm grateful for this job. It stresses me out whenever we got to be like, and he said, and she was like, and did you see her yesterday? Because she was always looking at this in the meeting, and she'll never do her part. And I don't want to do that anymore. And telling your coworker, your business bestie, that you don't want to be that person anymore is hard. Because now what do you have to talk about? Like, what? Real things? Like life? Like adulting? Like, that's boring. And so I get it. Like, I completely get it. So I'm getting my thoughts together for this episode. I'm looking forward to recording it, and I'm really looking forward to inviting you all to join the Level Up Club. Like, that's the thing that I can say I'm most excited about, because I know what it feels like to be an entrepreneur, to be a side hustler, to be a multi-hyphenate that's in this world that heads are like, nobody gets it. Nobody understands. Like, I'm about to work this job. Yeah, I got a 9-to-5 and it pays me well, but I'm about to work it for another 6 months. I got an exit plan. I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to be doing this. I'm ready to level up. I'm ready to do it. Nobody really truly gets it. So I created a space for people that get it. And so I teach classes in there. We have expert speakers that come. We really network and communicate with each other. We meet online, so it's live, so you get me live. It's a whole bunch. It's a whole vibe, honey. It's a whole vibe. We have our little cocktail menus that we send out. We have a newsletter that helps you with grants and grant writing and all of those things. It's a whole thing. I'm gonna leave some information in the description box if you guys are interested. But I'm about to change my clothes and take some breaths, and I may wear this lipstick. It looks a little too nude. It's not doing anything like pow, 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 pow. I may change it. I may keep it. You know what? I've been thinking about getting my eyebrows microbladed. First, I just need to get them threaded. Like, let's start there. Let's start with just cleaning up all these hairs under here. But then I'm like, microblading would be great. You know, the issue that I keep feeling like I'm gonna have with it is that when I wash my face, I be washing it. Like, and I know something about you can't touch it or get it wet or something for a certain amount of time. I don't know. But if anybody's ever gotten their eyebrows microbladed, let me know how you liked it in the comment section. That or lash tinting. Like, I really believe in doing as much low maintenance things. Like, okay, I paid for microblading or, you know, lashes or lash tinting or whatever, so that I don't have to stand and go get my eyebrows done and wait for that one girl to be there because I don't like this other girl doing my brows because she doesn't know what she's doing. You know, that kind of thing. Like, I want to be able to cut down on some of the maintenance time of like getting dressed in the morning. So if y'all have some suggestions, if you've had good experiences, if you've had bad experiences, even alternatives, like what's laminating? I'm sure I can figure this out. Laminating your brows versus microblading. It seems like laminating is giving them a perm. Like they put this cream on it and then I don't know. I've watched a lot of videos, but I don't think I still get it. I might be watching the wrong people. That's another thing. If you got the right person, send them the link. She travels for good things. I like to travel for the good services, honey. I'm not trying to be stuck here in Savannah. If you have somebody in Savannah, I live in Savannah, GA, but if you got somebody in Jacksonville, that's 90 minutes. You got somebody in Atlanta, that's 4 hours. That's pushing it. But for a good situation and get my situation tightened up, I can be there. I can be there in, 3.5, 4 hours? Y'all leave it all below. Like I said, I'm about to pray and get centered. I pray a lot before I record, y'all, because I really try not to use notes and things because I feel like it makes it really feel scripted and I can't get in my groove and flow. And sometimes I skip numbers because I'm in that groove. Y'all remember that one video? Everybody was like, "Where's number 4? What's number 4?" I was like, "Oh, I forgot." I was in zone. But sometimes I get in that zone and I'm stuck in there. But today I'm gonna try to work without notes. I'm just gonna try to let the Holy Spirit lead me on what to say. I don't know if I use notes. That's what you want me to do too. There's no shame. There's no shame. And staying organized with my thoughts because they get scattered, chuttered. Y'all know I'm in the South. If you know what that's from, then you know something about the South. Scattered, chuttered. You ain't never been to Waffle House? Girl. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna let y'all go and I'm gonna get dressed. When I tell you every single anniversary my husband and I have been married for, it will be 16 years this year. Every single anniversary, no matter what, we go to Waffle House. I don't wanna hear it. I don't wanna hear nobody be like, "Oh, it's nasty." I don't wanna hear it. It's not up for debate. We go to Waffle House for our anniversary. Yes, we go to the nice places and jet set and but when there is a must, either on our anniversary, before, days after, at some point during our anniversary season, I need a waffle with pecans, extra crispy, some scrambled eggs, smothered, peppered, chopped, something else. And I need some grits that have been sitting on that back pot. They be serving like this. I need all of it. I'm a southern girl, and I love me some Waffle House. That's that. Not up for debate. I know. I wash my silverware. You should see me. I wash everything before I use it, but I like it. It's good, and it's a certain time of the night. It's good. And if you, listen, not up for debate. Only hearts, only heart eyes. Like I love it too, sis. I understand. I'm here for it, and I don't want to hear nothing about no IHOP either. It's not the same. It's not the same. So you're excited about your reinvention journey. You're excited about the changes that you're making. You're becoming the woman of your dreams. You are just changing how you identify, how you express yourself, how you dress, how you look, how individuals experience you, only to find out you're the only one excited and everyone else misses the old you. Oh, honey, I hope you're ready for this episode. If you are, let's go.
Bye.